Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Srinivasa Biology Tutorial. In this section to discuss about in plant kingdom, the continuation of the bryophytes, to discuss pteridophytes. To discuss pteridophytes. Pteridophytes is included as horsetails and ferns. Horsetails and ferns. The pteridophytes are used for a medicinal purpose and soil binders. So in these pteridophytes mostly used as they are medicinally as well as we are used as completely in soil binders. Now they are also frequently grow in ornamentals. So they are used as their ornamental purpose also. And evolutionary, they are the first terrestrial plants possess in vascular system or vascular tissue, the xylem and phloem. So the first terrestrial plants are called as pteridophytes, or it is called as the first the vascular plants also called as these pteridophytes, because this first these pteridophytes they are to develop as xylem and then phloem. Xylem and then their phloem to get formed in that pteridophytes. Now you shall study more about that these tissues or this chapter. So this completely the study about as in the pteridophytes in the chapter 6. Pteridophytes are found in mostly cool places, damp places and shady places. Through the sum of many, they flourish well the shady soil conditions. So they mostly the pteridophytes to grow as in a cool places, damp places, shady places, and through the enter the in a flourish well their sandy soil conditions also in these pteridophytes are there growing. And you may recall that the bryophytes are the dominant phase of the life cycle is the gametophytic plant body. So the previous class also you discussed the the mostly that bryophytes the major body their plant body is what that is their gametophytic the dominant phase is present. However, in the pteridophytes the main plant body is sporophyte, which is differentiated as the true roots as present, and their stem is present, and then leaves also they are present here. So when we see that in enter the plant here, two roots as present, and here the stem like structure also they are present, and to get forms as leaves also, like they are true roots and true stem and their true leaves also we notice in the members of the pteridophytes. Now these organs they possess the well differentiated the vascular tissue. So when we compare to as bryophytes, here in this entire the pteridophytes to differ for their vascular tissue. Now these leaves are pteridophytes are the small. If in case here to get forms as in their small leaves as present, that small leaves are called as their microsporophylls or microphyls. See that the microphyls as seen that cellaginella, and you see that in a large, you notice as in the large lot their spores as forms, that is in a they are macrophylous ferns. Small is in a micro and larger one is what macro. Now the sporophyte bears as in a sporangia that are in a they are subtended by as in the leaf-like appendages called as in a they are sporophyll. See, for example, you take as in a one particular leaf. In that leaf, entire the regions to notice as in a some appendages are present. These appendages is completely called as in a that is sporophyll. This called as what? Sporophyll means the number of the spores are formed that enter the aggregation of the to aggregation of the entire the spores is called as any sporophylls. Now in some cases the sporophyll may be formed as a distinct compact structures is called as an strobili or cones. You notice in the members of the cellaginella and then equisitum. See here mostly in that some completely their compact structures we notice that is called as they are strobiles or in a cones. In that cones also you notice as cellaginella and then equisitum plant species. Now after the sporangia it is produced as in spores the meiosis in that spore mother cell. So one spore mother cell to get participate in the meiosis division, the spores are germinate gives rise to as an inconspicuous mass of the small in multicellular structure. We notice that small multicellular the structure is called as what that is in a free living, the thalloid, that is called as in a prothallus. Here one meiosis, the mother cell is present here. In this mother cell, to get participate in that meiosis division, to get forms as in a haploid spores. To get forms as in a, they are haploid spores. See, these haploid spores to get after they develops into, these are the completely, they develops into to get form as in a, they're small, they're creeping or their multicellular structures. You notice that structures is called as in a prothallus. They are called as what? They are called as in a prothallus. See, to get forms as what? Prothallus will be their forms. Now, these gametophytes are required for as in a cool, damp and shady places to grow. So, in this completely prothallus where they are growing, they are mostly cool places, damp places, shady places to they are grow. Because of these the specific the restricted requirements and their need for the water for the fertilization. So for their completely for the development they require for as any water, means the fertilization process they require for as any water. And despite living the pteridophytes, the limited and the restricted the narrow geological regions. So the limited restricted narrow geological regions also in these pteridophytes they are growing. Now the gametophytic, the BS as any, the male and female sex organs is called as any antheridia and then archegonium. When with that in a, that male, here the male sex organs is called as an antheridium, and that female sex organ that is called as an archegonium. That is in a archegonium respectively. Now, water is required for as a transfer of the anthrozoids. That is the male gametes released from the antheridia. So, for example, here they are having as an one antheridium. This antheridium they const up as a number of their anthrozoids as present. In this anthrozoids, how do they get reached to as an archegonium? Here, how do they get reached? Here, they require for as an water. For example, in this entered the anthrozoids. These are the complete in anthrozoids. In this anthrozoids to get released to as in a water, they get moved into to reach the in that archegonium. They get forms as in a zygote. Okay, in the mouth of the archegonium. See, once here they complete, they get comes as in the mouth of in archegonium and they get reach. Now, the fusion of the male and the male with the egg represent as in the archegonium. In that result, the formation of the zygote. So here, the male gamete they fuse with as in that female gamete. What happened? To get form as in a zygote will be to get form. To get form as what? Zygote. This mostly this zygote is refers to as produced as a multicellular, well differentiated sporophytes. After it is completely to develop to get forms as in a the well differentiated, they are sporophytes. That sporophyte is called as what? That is a dominant phase of the pteridophyta. Okay, so that is in a dominant phase of in this pteridophytes. Next, in that majority of the pteridophytes, all the spores or that small, that is similar kind of such plants is called as an homosporous. Here, majority of the pteridophytes, all spores are the similar kinds. For example, it is to get forms as in the same similar size of in spores are produced. Here, that same or similar size of the spores as produced. Such kind of spores is called as what? That is in a homosporous condition. That is in a homosporous condition. If in a case, next, the generally like is noticed as in a Sellaginella and Salvinia, it's produced as in a heterosporous condition. Here, Sellaginella and Salvinia, which produce two kinds of the spores, that is in a macro is a large and micro is the small spores as known as in a heterosporous condition. See, one is in a small, another one is in a the large spores as produced. Such kind of spores is called as in that is what? That is in a heterosporous condition. That is called as what? Heterosporous condition. You notice as in a that Salvinia and Sellaginella and Sellaginella. Salvinia and then Sellaginella is the best example for the in this heterosporous condition. Now, the megaspores and microspores are germinates gives rise to the female and male gametophytes. For example, it is here they had is in a male. In this male to get produced as what? It is male produced as in that male gametophyte. In case the female to get produced as in a, that is in a female gametophyte. Means which the gamete to get complete to get produced as in a, the same kind of the gametophyte will be to produce. Now here the female gametophyte is this the plant or retained on the parent sporophytes the variable periods. Here the female gametophyte their variable periods as present, then only they get develops. Now the development of the zygote into the young embryos takes place within the female gametophytes, so that young embryos to get produced as only for the female gametophyte only. Now this event is their precursor to seed habit. So when this female gamete to directly to develop, what happened to get forms as a precursor, means to get forms as a the new seed habit will be they get produced. The considered as that important step of evolution. The seed habit it is it is a very important for the their step of the evolution. Okay, and after in the stereophytes, what type of their, yeah, mostly the pteridophytes they classified into four classes. One is in their Coelopsida, example is in Xylotum, and second one is in Lycopsida, example is Cellagenella and Lycopodium, and third one is in Phenopsida, example in Equisitum, and Pteridopsida, example is Dryopteris and Teres and Atenatum. These are the best example for the they are pteridophytes. Okay, these are the completely there are four classes of the pteridophyte. Okay, and remaining to continue in next class. Thank you for watching.